Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Peter Igaga, and I want to welcome you to Men. We're here at the Hilton Garden Inn, and tonight we are taking off the gloves. We are going for glory. Is money a reason as to why women misbehave? Or is it just that men can't handle women with money? Now, as I always say, this is your show. We want to hear from you. Go to our Facebook page. It's NTV Men. Let's talk. And also, you can follow us on Twitter. It is NTV Men UG. Sharon, good to have you here. Tonight, we're going straight to it. A lot of men have said that a woman without money is a good woman. But a woman with money is a problem. From a woman's perspective, is that true?
Okay, thank you so much, Peter. Well, I think I would like to be split, but allow me to start with, I think women that have money are empowered, okay? So that makes them have the wings and to be in control of their lives. But then again, when you go back to the side of women without money, they have to become docile, because obviously you're going to be everything. I have to be dependent on my man and stuff like that. So and it's not even that women with money. It's just I think it's just a misconcept. Yeah. Okay, but I feel like women with money that are maybe ungroomed, or maybe have just seen the money. Yeah. But if you've been there with the money, it's just nothing. It's just an addition value. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Chris, money maketh a man, some have said. Before we went on air, we talked about it. A man with money is bound to be a problem. Is a woman with money equally a problem?
Chris, first of all, does your woman have money?
Hey, why?
Because we want to
Good
know
question.
which perspective you're speaking from.
Okay.
Tell us.
My wife is not broke.
Hey.
No, she isn't.
Okay.
But I think that money is an amplifier. If you're bad-mannered, money has this way of amplifying your bad manners.
Yes.
If you're well-mannered, money amplifies your good manners.
Yeah.
I think that if there were some guys who had Bill Gates' money, they would really be, walking with their feet in our mouths, because, it's just amplifying the money. But Bill Gates, with all the money, goes out to try and save the world or help people with malaria, tuberculosis, HIV, etc., because that's what's on the very inside of who he is, he and his wife, Melinda, who is actually a very deeply religious person. So money has a way in which it amplifies who we are.
Yeah,
money has no problem.
Yeah.
In fact, sometimes in church circles, people say the love of money, they say money is the root of all evil. Yeah. But it's not money that's the root of all evil. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil. Because I'll tell you what, you can have two people on the extreme side of money possession, and money is evil for them. When you're broke, it's possible to be broke and you don't really love money. You need some, but you're not going to kill somebody like some young people killed a lady here recently, Najirinya or whatever, I think that was her name. And someone says, I got my cat, 130,000. Like, who does that? That's the love of money for someone who doesn't have much resource. But then you also find somebody who is worth billions, still going ahead and swindling more billions because of the love of money. Yeah. So on two extremes, it's the same problem. Yeah. It's a whole thing of money can get to your head, but also amplify or accentuate who you really are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wouldn't say women with money are impossible to deal with. Yeah. Just like I wouldn't say that men with money are impossible to deal with, because I have found, in fact, that some people in this town who really are wealthy are very humble, very down to earth, and very nice people.
They've got nothing to prove.
They've got nothing to prove. And for me, it's both male and female. They actually are very nice people.
Yeah.
So this whole idea about money, it's I think actually that question is kind of framed from insecurity of some sort.
Is.
Yeah.
Because you feel you can't deal with someone at that level, and you're putting money as the problem. But maybe it's because you can't think at their level.
Okay.
Hey,
The man has just touched on a very raw nerve. Now,
Yes.
it's real, man.
I like the
Yeah.
last point.
is the
Insecurity.
are the insecurities of some men really founded? Because what I am picking up from what Chris is saying is that if you can't handle the kitchen, you can't handle the heat, then stay out of the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, let me just back up a bit, because from time immemorial, yeah, society has not expected women to have money.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is why before it's only the men that used to, you know, take up the inheritance, or you're going to, you know, you're the heir of this family. And it's so rare. I mean, even right now in 2019, there are still issues whereby, well, the lady or the girl or the elder sister, she's the eldest, but they are still like, you know, she's a girl. How can she inherit all this property? How can she, you know, move all this money?
Yeah, what's she gonna do with it?
Exactly. So since time memorial, society has expected women not to have money. Yeah. And then there's also that and it's so bad in that even women, some women these days, when they have money, they want to pretend like they don't have money, you know.
Yeah.
They'll be like, well, I make money, yes, but nice is a chicha. And I think you've also passed through corridors and had, if it's a rich man, people will say, hey, yeah, that's Peter, he's a rich guy. He's a rich guy. But there's this thing of women's money is silent. Yeah.
Until you
To
meet
talk-
Amina.
To talk about yes, exactly. To talk about rich women, you'll be like, do you know so and so? That chick has money. You get. So you're literally trying to, it's like you have to convince someone that a woman is rich. Yeah. And yet, if it's on a man's perspective, any man can just pass by and you'd probably be like, yeah, I guess he has money or something. Yeah. So what has it done? We have grown up in that aspect of, I feel like my woman, I'm supposed to have more money than her. Yeah. And a lot of men have derived self-worth from that, from the fact that they can provide, from the fact that their woman is going to ask them for everything to eat, from the fact that if their woman doesn't call them, most probably the family is not going to run. Okay. So now here comes a situation, yeah, where the woman has money, yeah. So if you're out there, you're drinking and all that, you're not, you know, pulling weight, she'll just keep quiet and she'll just do everything for herself. And then at some point in time, you come back, you're like, it's like this woman doesn't need me anymore. You know, you're not asking me for money, you're not doing anything. So what's the worth of this relation? Because first of all, because I've been in situations where I've spoken to some two different men, and one man was like, I can't believe my wife my girlfriend does not want to have sex with me. And I'm like, why? And he's like, well, I'm the boyfriend, like she should be having it all the time.
Ask me, I would
you
say
know,
she shouldn't.
she should she should be
Absolutely
having it
not.
all the
He's
time.
not
So
married her yet.
exactly. So there are some men who derive self-worth, their self-worth from the fact that they can provide.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I think there's nothing wrong with a man providing because that's what he's supposed to do. But I don't think the relationship, and I'll come to you, is should a relationship be based on a man's ability to provide? Because Chris has often said that men are wired to be providers.
Yep.
Because if it is, the moment a man's spouse starts making more money than him and she can provide more than him, he gets, pardon my language, but he's basically gotten his balls cut off.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that question is like the best, because it's very contradicting. The Bible says, I don't want to quote,
And
but
keep in mind
somewhere.
you're seated next to
Yeah.
her.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
No, but
Relax.
spirituality cuts across. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Bible somewhere says that a man should be a provider. I don't know how it says it, but you'll help me.
If you do not take care of your family, you're worse than a heathen.
Yeah, something like that. So, but then again, it doesn't cut off a guy's balls like he said. Yeah. But the thing is, a man, honestly, there's a time I met a Chinese guy. Meanwhile, I thought this thing is only for Africans, eh? So this guy finds me, I'm a very hardworking person, hustler and all that, and he finds me, I'm so hardworking. He sees me all the time, I'm moving, and then he's like, so, do you have a husband? I'm like, no, I don't have a husband. No. At first he thought I had a husband, and I was actually hustling so much. So, and he's like, oh no, you shouldn't, you should not let your husband be like
Sharon
allow
is
you.
talking to Chinese men.
Yes, you shouldn't. Yes, you shouldn't let this man of yours shouldn't let you. No, so
economy now are women.
no. Listen, this guy was just an observer. He was just like wondering. Get this girl is it?
That's how they start.
No,
But go on.
anyway, so moving on. So the guy, I'm like, no, I don't have a husband. And then he was so moved, and he's like, let me just give you 20,000.
Wow.
That's how it starts.
But that's
No, but listen, this guy became my friend, and we're still friends.
Of
We're-
course.
Thank you. So, no, moving on.
Yeah.
So, do you know what I got from this guy? I thought that this
20,000.
whole thing of a man should be a provider is just only in the African setting, but it cuts across. So I actually engaged him. I said, oh, why do you say that my husband? No, he's like, no, you're supposed to be at home, like being a wife. And
But
then
that's-
and then it also cuts across to Indian women. Okay, I'm not categorizing things, but I'm just saying on a general perspective, I think a man was made to provide. But please,
Yeah.
let me first finish. But it does not stop you as a woman to have money, because we might be wired differently. I may have more luck in making money.
But there lies the problem, because just as you've said, you've
Yeah.
really insisted that a man is meant to provide.
Yes.
And like you say,
He
the
should.
Chinese.
He must.
Yes, exactly.
He must go out there and work.
Let me ask you something. Let me just
Hold on.
Go look for
But
money.
now, when the relationship is based on that,
It's
okay,
not-
just hold on.
Okay.
Now, and then you are in a situation for whatever reason, because a man is supposed to work. Don't get me wrong. There are men who are giving it their best, but they cannot. The opportunities are just not unfolding.
Exactly.
But they're
Yeah.
keeping on.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, his wife is making good money. Now, does that warrant his wife to look down on him because all of a sudden she is the lead provider?
Okay, that is going to take us back to patience. Okay?
Okay.
So if you're not patient and your man loses a job, I know someone
You know, a lot
whose
of
husband lost a job, okay? But then if you cannot be patient enough, and this lady stood there with him 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, but you know, the thing is, if you're not patient enough to hang in there and be there for your man, for your friend, because I feel like marriage is a friendship. If you're not there to hang in there and hold him down in those hard times, then you're going to move away. So it's not, of course, if it's based on provision, you're going to leave. If it's based on some other type of arrangement, friendship, whatever, you will stay. Even if it's 5 years down the road, the guy doesn't have a job. But then again, there are guys who are so, oh my God,
Okay,
like he will not work.
Alright,
He
I
will,
feel like-
because no, I have
before we-
seen
I feel
men,
like- I feel
Peter,
like-
Yeah,
I have seen men that they are disgustingly lazy. Disgustingly.
I get it. That's
the
a
woman
different-
is working so hard, and the guy is just there waiting.
But
five.
you know this cuts across in both sexes.
Yeah, okay, no,
No,
but this
You
is
do
not
know this
that.
cuts across
no,
both
no.
sexes.
This
It's
is
not
not. It's not
fair.
about.
And,
Yes.
and I
who's-
wanted
just let that
to
point
ask Chris something.
Just let
Okay,
that
before we
To
get
work.
there, now,
Go
before
on.
it becomes pointy. Now, Chris,
Yeah.
3 things that drive this world: money, power, sex.
Yeah.
And it has been, even if I'm going to talk about the book I know best, that's the Bible. When even you look at the Bible, that has been the key driver. It is still happening even up till today. Now, the holder of those 3 things is literally in charge. Now, for the longest time, and I even mentioned it, men have had access to these, have been having lead access to these. So women have been in the back. Now we are seeing more and more women are having access to money, power, and sex. Recently, there was this issue of the CEO of was it McDonald's, who resigned
Yes.
because now
They asked him to
it-
step
Because he
Yeah,
had a
he-
relationship
he had a
with someone in the
relationship.
business.
so and now the focus makes it look like he is the one who was in the wrong, and yet it was a relationship between 2 people. Okay.
was consent.
Yes. So
broke the
it-
rules. It's I mean,
Yes,
it's against
but
the company guidelines.
they both broke the rules. It wasn't only him, but because he's at the helm, and he's the one who's in control, he is expected to be the bigger man.
Yes.
All right. Now, my question to you is:
Human.
when those 3 things are handed over to a woman and she's calling the shots, as we can see, women don't like lazy men.
No.
Oh, that's not because they're
Say
meant to
no to
provide.
lazy men.
So she's now at the forefront. Isn't that a license for her to misbehave?
Also, Chris, I want you to answer
One
this
at a
question.
time. Okay.
I want you to answer this question. In the Bible, when they're talking about how a man should be a provider, yeah, I want you to explain to people that for certain circumstances, being a provider does not mean it's just about money, yeah, because there are men who put their careers on pause and focus on their family because I mean the woman is earning enough money for the entire family. So he's like, you know what? I will take care of the kids.
No.
I will cook if I have to. So please
my
explain to
God,
me
no.
when it says you should be a provider. Is it you should go, you should work, you should bring back money?
Chris,
That
those
is
are
it.
2 very important questions which you're going to have to answer once we get back from the break. We're here at the Hilton Garden Inn talking about women who misbehave because they have money. I'm not going to ask if you're one of them. I'll leave that one to you. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back from the break. We're here at the Hilton Garden Inn Hotel having it's kind of getting warm here, yes. A chat about women who get out of character because they have disposable income. Now, Chris, you were bombarded with good questions. Okay.
Yeah. So I will answer Faisal's first and then I'll get to yours, Peter. So we are encouraged to provide for our own.
Yeah.
Right? The Bible says, you know, if you don't provide for your home, it's you're worse than a heathen or a non-believer. So as men, we need to do that basic, provide, provision. The Bible never ever says you've got to be the wealthiest. It doesn't say you have to have more resource than your wife. It says provide. A study was done by Willard Harvey, and out of that came the book His Needs, Her Needs. I've referred to that book a bit on this show because I think it's really important. I think it's like relationship 101 book to read. Go read His Needs, Her Needs by Willard Harvey. But in that book, a study was done, 1,000 couples were interviewed, and they were asked, what are the top needs of women, what are the top needs for men? One of the top needs for women, top 5, was for a man to provide
Yes.
for the home.
Not
But-
for her, for the home.
But the provision did not mean that he has to have more money than her.
Yeah.
In fact, what they were looking for was that the man's provision is able to cover the home so she doesn't need to work.
Thank you.
Yeah? So here's the thing. If what runs the home is 700K a month, the wife of that home would desire that her man is able to cover 700K. She could be making 70 million. that's fine. But if what you make can cover the home and she doesn't need to work, that's the region of satisfaction. So the idea is not, I don't know any woman who wants a man who makes more money than her.
Huh?
Like, no, I'm serious. Like Peter, no. My opinion?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me tell you my opinion.
The good thing is I know
So
more
they're
women
they're
than
not necessarily looking for a man who, by all standards, must always make more money than them in terms of capacity, but are looking for a man who can take care of them and their children,
who can pull the weight.
who can pull his weight.
Don't all women
Wait,
want
wait,
a
wait.
rich man? Fairy tale wedding.
Yes.
That fairy tale does not include majority of the women I know.
Yeah, baby.
Rose.
Okay. So Peter, whoever Rose is, hi Rose. Okay, so for me, that's the first thing. That we need to look at what is it that the woman is looking for. The woman is looking for a guy who can cover them, provide for the home.
Yeah.
She's not looking for the richest honcho in the world. Otherwise, Bill Gates will be married to a billion women.
No, he's the one who
Yes.
doesn't want them, but they
Huh?
want him.
Whatever, but it's not the scenario, because there is a certain level of satisfaction. You're going to find that there is a woman in the village in rural Uganda somewhere who's happy with her husband, who brings back home some fish
Yes.
and cassava, and the family is covered. She says, "Kulikayo mami, thank you very much." In her garden or her marwa business or whatever, she could be making loads more money. But because the guy, Alhaji Seya Sebagala, he says, he had wanted a city where every man goes back home with a kavera. That kavera is what the basic woman, the average woman wants. So that's the first thing.
Yes.
The
Pastor
second
said
thing,
it.
and this is important. Peter, he talks about power, money, sex. And whoever controls those things controls the world. I think I differ a little. I think that most people kind of mess up life in those areas. Those are three areas where people are bound to fail. Power, money, sex. Right? Why? Because from a biblical perspective, sin comes from the lust of the eyes, the lust of the flesh, and the pride of life. Money has a way in which it makes you lust over things of the eyes. Power has a thing of pride. Sex, the lust of the flesh. So it's just falling into the natural categories of areas where typically most people sin.
Yeah.
So it's not that those are the areas of, that's where most control comes from. In fact, I would take the conversation higher to say, here's how the Bible puts it. Faith, hope, and love exist, but the greatest of these things is love. So you're going to find that in most situations, in most relationships, everyone in the relationship would like someone to have some faith in them.
Yeah.
Believe me.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, God first, yeah, he wants us to believe him, have faith in him, but just have some faith.
Yeah.
And then if we don't have the substance of that thing that we are hoping for, at least have some hope that we will get there.
get it, yeah.
Like right now we're dead broke. I was at some friends this last weekend, and man, you look at that picture. When they got married, they were pencil thin and they were broke, and you hear those stories again and again and again, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
But then because you have hope that you'll make it in life, you stay together
stay
and see
together.
it through. And then the thing that keeps the wheels turning is love. Right? So actually,
Women say they don't eat love.
but
Yes.
guess what? But guess
They
what?
eat
A
Santezaka
woman who is in an unloving relationship would rather be loved with a relationship where there is less money than be treated like
Where there
trash.
is less. Okay.
Yeah, than be treated like trash.
Obviously, what you said is true.
No,
All right,
it's not
ask
true.
the Honorable
Okay,
Sharon,
yes, Sharon.
the representative of the women.
Would you rather, and that
frame the question properly.
Yes,
Would
yes,
you
yes.
rather cry in a Corona or on a bike, or would you rather cry in a Mercedes?
Peter?
What, cry? It's not
That's
crying.
the question?
Yes.
Yes.
The question
That's
is
the
about love.
I
Yeah,
have
basically,
framed it
yes,
exactly
it's
how
framed it.
Love.
You told me to frame it.
Okay, so let
Okay.
me frame the
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Would you rather be loved by a man who owns a bicycle or be treated like trash by a man who owns a Mercedes?
Not a Mercedes, a building.
Whatever.
Oh
Go
my
Uganda
God.
Airlines.
That's a very tricky question.
See?
But
Without.
I will be.
Let her tell us.
Oh my gosh, a bicycle. Those are two extremes.
Yeah, tell us.
Just to make the point.
At least say a Corona. My God, a bicycle.
She has answered the question.
She has answered that question. You
She
don't
has
even need
answered
to
the
do
question.
anything
So
else.
She has answered the question already.
Oh my God.
Because let me tell you, bicycle riders.
Wait. Are you not letting the lady
Oh
talk?
my God.
This is Sharon on national
I'm
TV.
big. No,
Yes.
I'm big.
Meanwhile,
Peter,
keep in mind, you're single and there are rich men watching this show.
It's okay.
There are rich men watching this show, and you've told them you're single.
Okay.
The poor men don't have TV, they're not watching.
No, they have
But
both
the
one.
rich men are watching,
They
so
haven't
answer
subscribed.
properly.
Let her talk.
Okay.
Let her talk.
Hey. You
Love or
people.
money?
Okay. I'm being honest from the depth of my heart. I personally, I'd rather go with the guy with the bicycle.
All right. Okay, Sharon.
But
That
let,
is-
let me say why.
all right. Yeah.
Because when you look at, like he said, hope, okay? Hope. You're hanging there with your guy. Meanwhile, he's giving you all the love. But like you said, women have the capacity to make money. We have centers kazi. So you'll be there, you're hanging. Let me tell you, men have luck. That bicycle man that you're looking at, like in 10 years to come, a big.
But have you dated a bicycle
We'll
man
be
before?
driving.
But have you dated a bicycle
He will
man
love
before? Have you dated a... I mean, you have been
Listen,
dating.
Wow.
Yes,
listen,
right now you're single, but
Listen,
before,
listen,
let's just back
that
up a bit.
Just wait. Let her finish.
That bicycle man, okay?
Can
will
also
be-
cheat.
No, listen, he will cheat, but he loves you. Do you know how disgusting it is? Do you know I've met rich men that are disgusting? Like disgusting. Meanwhile,
But
you have no love. You're there crying. You're about to commit suicide. What do you need? You need mental stability. I don't need that. I rather sleep.
Let me ask you
properly
something.
with
Let me
all
ask you
the
something.
love.
Let me ask you
Okay,
something.
Honestly.
wait,
Just
hold
a
on.
question.
One,
Just
just
a
one
question.
second, I'm getting to
Honestly.
you. Sharon, because today where our focus actually is on women, you're going to get a lot of this.
Yes.
My question is, and I'm just going to be very, because Chris mentioned that women would not want to marry necessarily a rich man. Would you want, as a woman, to be married to a rich man?
Who loves her or who
No,
doesn't love her?
before we get on, just
Obviously, a rich man.
Thank you.
Plain.
And then,
So-
Sharon, I wanted
And
to
the
ask you
follow-on
something.
question-
Yes,
The follow-on
okay.
question is?
Then the following question is, would you want to be married to a rich man who has more money than you? Of course. Even if you forget about whether he loves you or not, but would
Yeah.
you want a husband who has more money than you?
Peter, you sound like a politician.
I know. Are you campaigning? You're married.
Just wait, I'm asking
It's
her.
okay.
I think
just want to
someone-
let you know
I
that
think
you
he has
sound
a
like a
single friend.
politician.
No.
Wait. You sounded like a politician trying to win an election in a tough
I think he has a friend.
It's so bad.
He has a
Okay,
friend
okay,
who told him to ask Sharon
Wait,
these
Yeah,
questions
okay,
so that he
okay.
knows whether
okay,
he
wait.
goes through
Wait,
or not.
Let's listen to her. Let's
Okay.
listen to her. Yeah.
So,
So, yes.
Would I rather
Would you
have
rather have would you rather that your husband made more
More
money than
money?
you, or would you prefer to make more money than your husband?
Hey,
Why are we even
I'm
arguing
very
about that?
I'm very. For me, I feel like women, I as a woman, I need to have more money than the man, because women, we take care of our everything. Men are very slippery. Okay. Yes. He could be here with you, but he has like 10 other kids. So no, I need to have the money. No, it's not about. I'm saying me, I need to have the money because I need security. I'm not going to put my security on you.
I'm talking about earning. So you'd rather.
Yes, I rather have the money.
Okay, that's interesting.
Period.
Because the
I
way
rather have the
So
money.
that you control the entire
Yes,
relationship.
and let me
You
tell you,
see?
there's something
I
about
told
Peter.
you.
Sorry for
Money-
cutting you short. When
Exactly
you
what
have
you said.
money, when you have money, hey,
You're
the
in
man can
control.
even just come and massage your feet.
Oh, boy.
Then that
And
means
do
our topic is
what?
valid. Because what she's saying is what you are asking.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Because you asked her, is it because women have money that they behave a certain type of way? And she has just told you, yes.
And which means
That doesn't make
Because she
you
has said,
disrespectful.
when you have the money, hey, Yeah,
Do you
let me
know?
even
Do you
put
know
like
what I'm
a-
saying?
like a
Do you know
expression.
what- do
When you have the money, hey,
saying
he
that.
can even come
hear her,
and
let's
massage.
hear her.
Do you know why I'm saying that? Obviously, like he said, money, when you have money, you have control. When you
Yes.
have power, you have more control. Okay? So when you
also when you're the one who's giving the sex, you have even more
even
control.
more control, yeah, times 3. So the thing is, when you have the money, there's a way men respect the women that have money. There's a way he sees value in you. Like, I'm telling
Chris,
you,
do you
he
see
would,
what you have done?
What have I
Do you
done?
see
I
what you
didn't
have
come
done?
with this lady. I came along. My home, my wife is at home.
I feel like
She
I
thinks
feel
a
like
little differently from this
Because
man.
I'll tell you,
I wouldn't, honestly.
and I'll tell you what I find a bit worrying in this
Yes.
situation.
and I'm going to
Um,
come in after that.
Yes. So clearly, a woman would rather have money for her own security.
Yes.
Now, if you are with someone who you don't trust at all, you say men are slippery.
Very.
I mean,
Most, okay, they're those ones.
yes, we
Are all men slippery?
Not all. It's not good to generalize.
yes,
yeah.
but you see, if then why are you with somebody who you want to have money to keep him on a leash? You've said that when you've got more money, he'll massage
He
your
must
feet.
massage your
all
feet.
that.
What? He'll
So it
do
means you want
this.
to keep him in
that.
check.
I'll throw in a quick answer. It's because there's men who do the same thing to women.
Oh, high five.
Comparison. It's not
Not
It's not
serious.
even a
It's the
comparison.
truth. They are
It's a
men who do
comparison.
that. They do
Yes,
it
they're
as a
there.
control thing.
Yes, they're
Keep you
there.
on the leash,
And that's
yeah.
what I said. That is exactly why I said that some men who derive self-esteem from the fact that they control everything. Just as much as there
now
are those
there are
men.
some women
Yeah.
who derive self-esteem.
Exactly,
from
but we are not
controlling
going.
everything.
We are not going to categorize the entire female species.
Yes.
Okay.
Or
Like
just-
how she tried
Yeah.
that when you have money, hey, they can even massage you what
He will
your feet
massage
because
you. He
because
not
no,
can,
no, no,
he
no.
will.
We do need to go into a break, and as soon as we get back, we're going to come to you. Now, we are here at the Hilton Garden Inn talking about whether money makes a woman misbehave. We'll be right back after the break. Welcome back from the break. In case you've just joined us, we're in the last section before I go and start looking for money because clearly there is a problem.
Yeah.
Now,
There's no problem.
I'm unsettled, and I'll tell you why.
Why?
There's nothing wrong with a woman earning more than a man.
Yeah.
However, I think it becomes a problem when that is used as a tool. You've said it's used as a tool of power. Even sex becomes conditional.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
I mean, there's everything wrong with that.
Of course.
Peter, can
But
I-
Because
so
let me just
the other side.
let me
Even
just
men are like that.
no 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 no
Yes.
no not all men are like that.
Yes,
And
do
you
unto
can't
others.
just
You-
single out one
you receive
bad
what you
character
give.
of a man and also decide
But
to
that's
behave
how
like
most-
that because
okay. I don't
the
want
fact
to
that they
be
do
judged.
it does not mean it's right. Yeah, and this goes back to what I was saying because this specific species of a person, the woman, has been raised in that closed gap of, oh, you want money, they're not going to tell a woman go and work when we were kids. They wouldn't tell her go and work or something. You
supposed
want
to
money,
provide it
go to
for.
your brother, they'll give you money. You want money,
Yeah,
come,
we
we
are
give you money.
supposed
You want
to.
money, you get what I'm saying. So I actually spoke to someone and she was like, now she works now, she earns her own money, but still when someone mentions the word money, like she just shivers, like, because to her it's still a new thing. Like for her to have money, it's still a new thing. So when her salary comes and she looks at it, she first shivers. I mean,
Peter.
that is how bad it is. Yeah. But let's not I mean, a relationship is a relationship and love is love. Yeah. If
But
you
you don't
love
eat
someone,
love.
yes, you don't eat love, but if you love someone, yeah, then why would you make them go through that hassle
I agree. Yeah.
of why would you mistreat them just because you earn more than them? Because you see, this thing called money, it comes and goes.
True.
Yeah, today you have money, tomorrow you may not have money, and you won't have all that power you've been talking about, because we've seen rich men fall, we've seen rich women fall,
So let me
and
can-
what normally happens after that is even their families crumble. Why? Because they used money as a tool of control. What you have to understand is money will not always be there for you.
So here's the
But
thing.
your husband, on the other hand, your bicycle husband, might be there.
So let me set the record straight. I am not for the school of thought where whether male or female,
Should have more money.
uses money to control and manipulate another. I am actually from the school of thought that says the resources that a family has need to be co-owned and co-shared.
And I remember
Co-managed.
I remember you actually saying there's no his money, there's
And
no
there's
her
no her
money,
money,
it
it's
is
our
our money. I remember.
And I think that that standpoint helps a lot. That when you go out, you see, let's look at it from, so when we get married, the vows we say, all I have, I give to you, all the time I give to you, all I have, I share with you within the love of God.
Until you sign a
Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So here's what you're saying. That my body, my time, my everything is yours. When I go out to work, I'm using your time to go on. When I am compensated for that time, it's your time that's being compensated. The same thing happens to you. From the biblical perspective, your body is not yours. Your body belongs to your spouse. So sex is not to be withheld, it's to be shared as a couple.
Yep.
You don't use it as a control tool. There is no space for manipulation, whether you're using money or you're using your power in positional
Ladies,
power
I
in
hope you hear.
society, or
Give it.
you're using sex. You never use any of these things to manipulate each other. You actually have those things to encourage each other, to uplift each other, to build each other up. And I think that that's where people get it wrong. Because today we're talking money, then the next day we're going to talk about power, because someone is going to say, oh, my goodness, these women who are now MPs and whatever, they are difficult. Or now, my goodness, these women who have power, money, sex. These women, because they have sex, they are difficult. No, right? It's within love. What's at least at a couple level, what needs to happen is that you talk through things. It's a dance. You negotiate. You work things through. So what has given birth to a young lady like Sharon taking the position she's taken is because she's seen generations before where men misuse and abuse and manipulate women because they don't have money. So she's hustling.
So it's payback
So
time.
she no, it's not payback time. She's hustling to secure herself,
Yeah.
to make sure that when he shows up, he doesn't pee on her because she has no money. That's the issue she's dealing with,
Some people find that
right?
as foreplay.
No, I'm just saying. It's like that's her issue, and there's women who are like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would tell Sharon, and I'll tell us here, that there are men who don't do that. There's men who are loving enough to say, these are our resources, and they respect you. And you come to the table, and you talk, and you discuss things through. So then, over time, you get to realize that, no, this is not the manipulative kind. This is not the slippery kind. Because, sometimes the likes of Peter say, I live in utopia. But in the utopia where I live, there are thousands of men who are like the one I've just described. I'm one of them, and we're so many.
Chris, let me just add something on what you were saying, exactly what you were saying. When you remember what you said about money amplifying someone's true colors, yeah? Because this is exactly the same situation we're in. Because someone who is vindictive, yeah, whether they have money or not, they will manipulate you. Because you're not going to say there are poor women who do not manipulate their men. They are there. So it's not going to matter. No, they are there.
There you say.
They are there. It's not going to matter whether she has money or not. Listen. Let's not. No. There are communities where people are poor. All of them are poor. The man is poor. The woman is poor. But a woman will still find. Let me actually finish.
Just one second.
You've been telling me to let people finish, so let me finish.
1 second. You know what I just want to put into context. You see, this is a scenario. If both of you are poor, then both of you are the daughters. But if the man is what you call it, has money, and the woman doesn't have, she cannot manipulate it. That's a fact. Because if she doesn't give him sex, he'll get it from somewhere else.
No, if he's a loyal man, he's not. He's married. I mean, look at Chris. He's not going to go get it from somewhere else.
That you have not been manipulated.
Yeah.
How do you know?
You don't look like a manipulated man.
Let me finish what I was saying. Let me just finish what I was saying. What I was trying to say is, so let's say how Sharon should be thinking actually is not, I have money. If that guy comes and he wants to step on me, I'll I will control you.
Step back
That's
with
not how you're supposed to be thinking. Because I work with people, the men earn a lot of money, and you know, they earn more money than the woman. They're not going to step on her, they're not going to manipulate her, but what they're going to do is they're going to set up something for her, because they want you to also bring something to the table. But of course you do not have money. Yeah, so they're going to be like, you know what, to balance this equation, let me set up for your business, or to balance this equation, let me pay for your masters. Because this is how all these things happen. This is how you hear so and so paid for the wife's masters, so and so paid for the girlfriend's masters. Why? Because they had money, and instead of, you know, using it to manipulate you or something, they're like, let me add value to you with this money that I have, because it's our money. You understand, if I put you through school and we are married and you start earning money, it's coming to the same homestead.
Okay, can I have two corrections. One, I actually don't, because I was answering Peter's question. He said, would you rather have more money than the man? For me, I would rather have, because I just like being independent. I don't want to start asking you money for pads, money for this, money for this. I don't. I just want, I get money, and maybe if you don't have money, you're like, babe, how did the fees come? I'm wiring money to your account. I don't want that situation where I am put into a very compromised, like I'm benching, I'm begging you. You get, there's that situation, and then there's that part where the men don't have the money. I just want to be independent. That is I'm an independent person. That's it. Because I was raised by a very, very good father. Very good. He provided my mom with business. She became the richest woman.
So you see what I was saying?
I'm not saying, actually, I'm just correcting Pastor. Me, I don't have that mentality. Yes, Pastor, you said I have a mentality. Listen, I have a mentality. Let me finish. I have a mentality that comes from, I have seen people that I come from a very good, loving family, whereby my mom was provided for. They made the best couple ever. Actually, I look up to them.
That is great, but we need to wrap up the show. So I need you to. Your parting shot.
Let me finish. Yeah. The thing is, I need to have my money as an independent human being. Sharon, I was created alone, but if, like Pastor said, when you marry a guy, I don't know, because you introduce yourself as pastor in the other life.
No. Okay. I am always pastor.
Okay.
But
as you wrap up.
Okay, Chris. The thing is, when you marry someone and you marry each other and you become one, the problem is now society has changed. My friend, you have to have a backup. I have seen families fight over property. I don't want to be in that mess.
All right, great.
So independence all the way. Independent women.
Chris, your parting shots as we wrap up.
I'm raising a daughter, and I'm raising her to be a strong personality who's able to fend for herself and make money. Actually, she's already quite good with money at 11. But I'm not raising her to use money to manipulate her guy. I'm raising her to be able to contribute. In the Bible, Proverbs 31 talks about a virtuous woman who actually is entrepreneurial, considers land, buys it, has multitudes of businesses, and her husband trusts in her. So there is a scenario where a woman can have lots of money and she's holding it in trust of the family. It's possible for a woman to be more entrepreneurial than the guy, and there's no problem with that. Money shouldn't be a problem in the relationship. If the lady is stronger with money, please let her be. If the guy is stronger with money, let it be. The point is, it's all your money. So that's what I would say. Don't let money mess up your relationship. Money is a tool to make you happy in your relationship.
Great stuff, Faisal. Your parting shot.
My parting shot is money should not be the excuse that you disrespect your partner. Yeah. Yes, have the money, be independent if you want to, but have a boundary. Yeah, because like you said, like Chris said, money amplifies everything about you, the good things and the bad things. Yeah, that's why I actually made a joke earlier today when I was discussing, when I was talking about this with someone. I told them, you know, a poor terrorist and a terrorist with money, they're all terrorists. If you're a bad person, when you don't have money, you'll still be a bad person when you have money. So money should not be an excuse. It will just amplify whatever you are feeling. And a woman with money is not a bad thing. Yeah. The only thing that we need to change about our society is we need to shift from that mentality of women's money is silent money, or why is, you know, simani senteze chichala or something. Because when you're married, and one time they take your husband to hospital, they want money to pay for his bills and he dies, you're not going to come tell people at the funeral, well, I had money but mine's a chichala, I couldn't contribute or something like that.
All right, great stuff. It has been a tough one, but all I can say is money, money, money. The love of money is the root of all evil. You know yourself, you know your partner. If you cannot trust each other, you've got no business being with each other. Have a good night, God bless, and we will see you next week only on Men.